Okay, Eden Zero is back, and we are done with Deadend Crow. Like, it was such a swift end to his existence. Don't get me wrong, he did a lot of damage, and this arc has been going on for a while. But damn, I did not expect him to be just gone already. So, I guess I should start from the beginning. Okay, so we start out with a pretty rare sight, with Jin smiling. And the reason why he's smiling is Ether Gear's back on, which means his sister's safe, so he knows that his sister is now safe and fine. She's with Luga, of course, canceling the Ether Jammer, which is such a weird double negative sentence to say, which they actually say in this chapter. Said by Muskoy. He straight up says the Healy's Ether Jammer Canceller has been reactivated, which once again is a weird double negative sentence. When I first read it, I thought I misread it, but then I was like, oh no, that's correct. That's what is happening. Once again, it's just a weird sentence. Crow is also moving a whole lot slower, but why is that? Well, let's go back inside of his body to explain what happened. So Holy attacks Cure with her melting ability, and like half his body is instantly turned to liquid. But he of course smiles at her and says, did you forget what my ability is? I can regenerate. And he just fucking heals himself, yeah. He really is Cure. I figured that's what his ability was. If his name was Cure, well, his second name anyway. Obviously everyone's have their given name, and then of course the Interstellar Union gives them a second name. And then Cure just punches Holy right in the gut. This is a powerful hit. Like her entire body just bends forward and she spits up blood, and from there he just goes into a full-on frenzy and just pounding on her. And of course Kira, while he's hitting her, is continuously going on about good, evil, the balance, yada yada yada, all the stuff he talked about last chapter. And then Holy's like, are you done? And she basically points over to behind Cure. Her attack didn't just hit Cure, it hit the core of Deadend Crow. And so the core is partially melting, and that's when Holy decides to use basically kind of like an ultimate attack kind of thing. Melty Kiss, which sounds really gross, but it's basically a giant explosion of her power, just eradicating an entire area, turning it all to melting. So the core is destroyed, and she responds saying, yes, I do remember your power. You can only heal one thing at a time, which is why she melted him and the core at the exact same time. He'd have to focus on healing himself, otherwise he'd die, which would then allow her to melt the core. He then realizes that, Deadend Crow's gonna die if he doesn't do something, and so he basically accepts the fact that he's lost, and he's pissed about it. He then has Deadend Crow's wires hook into him, and he basically infuses into Deadend Crow. Apparently, now that he has his Ether Gear back, Jin apparently off-screened all those little robot things, and he comes in to get Holy, tell her that, yeah, we're being evacuated, they're going to fire the cannon, we need to go. Holy then starts freaking out, because obviously Cure got away, and she's demanding that she kill him here and now, and she just wants to find him, she has to kill him, she has to get a revenge. Jin then calms her down by basically pointing out that, I don't think dying is part of your plan to get your revenge. Like, we should kill him without us having to go along with it. And she does agree with this, and obviously they go for the escape. So now that the main core is gone and Cure is using himself as the core, Deadend Crow's ether is kind of going out of control. And he's basically all over the place. That's why he was slowing down before. He's just going insane. And so, obviously, Jin and Holy are able to escape, but Cure is using his ability to heal Deadend Crow's wound to protect the core. So yeah, now they're not unable to fire at his core with their laser. Cure or Crow, it's really hard to tell who. He's basically playing both roles at this point. He starts going on a monologue and laser visioning everything around them by saying that they're fools, they would even oppose him, and then he's going to destroy everything, erase everything, and then rebuild it all, regenerate everything. So yeah, he wants to play the role of evil and good still. He erases everything, evil, and then cures everything, good. Eraser then appears out of fucking nowhere on a building and declares that erasing is his thing, and he just casually reopens the hole to the core. Feather apparently also kind of hacked into the Eden Zero and fixed the cannons to hit the right spot, because the core is now gone. Cure is now the core, so she redirected towards the cannon shot towards Cure. Didn't know she could do that also. I mean, I understand how she can do it with her eyes, but I didn't know she was a hacker. That's kind of impressive. So Crow declares that this is everyone's dead end, and he's about to fire off a fucking mouth laser. Doesn't happen, though, because the Eden Zero finally fired off its attack, because it's been charged this entire time, and it is a massive fucking laser coming out of the mouth of the dragon of the Eden Zero. And when I say massive, I mean Deadend Crow is just fucking obliterated. Deadend Crow is killed, Cure is wiped out, and just a portion of the fucking city is just erased. It's like a fucking mini nuke. That's how big the main cannon is on the Eden Zero. That's insane. It just obliterated everything. Holy then tells her sister her fight is finally over, so I guess she's done being part of the Interstellar Union, which, yeah, that's fine and all. Legitimately thought this whole time I thought she was going to betray them, but no, she's legit been an ally to them this entire time, and is just happy to be done. Her revenge is over, and so now she guesses she can retire, I guess. That, or she'll continue on her dream of keep protecting people. But it really does seem like, based on that statement, she's just done. The world is safe from Deadend Crow, she can finally rest. So yeah, Deadend Crow is dead and gone, and that's the end of it. Unless Kira is able to cure himself from a single microm, like Cell does in Dragon Ball. But yeah, Crow is gone. You know, to be completely honest, I thought the next thing would be Ignolia, but no. We're jumping over to Cheeky and Ziggy, where Cheeky is getting his fucking ass beat to the point where he's no longer in overdrive. He's basically done. As you can imagine, Cheeky's disappointed after 3 years of training. He still can't beat Ziggy. And Ziggy's response to that is, well, yeah, there's no way I would ever lose to my previous self, a younger version of myself. He then crushes one of Cheeky's kneecaps, which is insane. And at that point, Cheeky's basically crippled and unable to fight back or do anything. And that's when Peanut comes out of nowhere. She, of course, then stands between Cheeky and Ziggy, ready to take on Ziggy. And obviously, Cheeky's like, get out of here. No, you can't be here. But she ignores him and declares that this is the reason why she was born or created. Which, yeah, it probably is. Because you gotta remember, she was created by Grandpa Ziggy, not by Dark Ziggy. So she most likely was created for the purpose of defeating Dark Ziggy, because Grandpa Ziggy knew he was fading and this other half of him was taking over. So it would make sense that this was basically his trump card when it was time. But that's kind of hard to tell at the moment, because currently all the dark stars and shining stars all have their memories erased and such, so we're kind of have to figure out what is what. I still hold that Grandpa Ziggy has been pulling the strings for a while now, because he knew what was going to happen, and he basically was setting everything up so this way Cheeky could finally succeed where he failed. But that's just a little theory I have been going on for a while now. With that being said, this was a pretty good chapter. I did not expect Deadend Crow to be taken out with a single shot, though, like real quick. But it makes sense. I mean, he literally had to take on half the Eden Zero crew plus like 3 members of Horatio Sace Interstellar. So yeah, he basically was fucked at that point. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up so you can enjoy more Eden Zero and other anime thing. Thank you, and have a great day.